I'd like you to take a moment and imagine the life of Simone. Simone was a 9-year-old indigenous girl who loved to draw, play soccer, and had dreams of becoming a doctor. In the year 2010, social services took Simone from her family and placed her in the child welfare system. Now, while social services claimed Simone was neglected at home, a more accurate reason was poverty and effects of residential schools in her family. After many years in the child welfare system, Simone lost her culture and her sense of belonging. Simone committed suicide at the age of 17. Last year, we learned a bit more about Canadian child welfare with 2 high-profile stories. 1, the discovery of unmarked graves from the era of residential schools. And 2, the signing of the first Child Care Act developed by a First Nation in Canada. This is seen in the slide above with the signing by Chief Delorme of Cowessess First Nation, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, and Premier Scott Moe of Saskatchewan. The act is called Cowessess Miopimatisowen Act. Inspired by my 9 years work experience in child welfare, I'm excited to say this act is the focus of my research. My research answers the question, how did Cowessess develop and implement the act in a decolonized way to reclaim jurisdiction over their children? In my research, I learned that while Indigenous children make up 8% of children in Canada, they make up more than 50% of children in child welfare. Here in Manitoba, they make up 90% of children in child welfare. Child welfare policies have caused Indigenous children to lose their culture and their sense of identity. I continued my research by discussing the act with Chief Delorme and other leaders in Cowessess. My findings revealed a preventive approach, which is different from the reactive approach found in current welfare policies. Basically, Cowessess supports families in their community to prevent the displacement of children. These supports include parental classes, supports from Cowessess grandmothers, and the inclusion of cultural teachings. I analyzed this information through a framework of decision space and power. This framework suggests that whenever an Indigenous group exerted more power and made more decisions over the health of their people, there were improved outcomes for that particular group. Since the implementation of the Miopimatisowen Act, can you guess how many Cowessess children have been displaced? 0. Why does this research matter? Because the life of Simone and all other Simones out there matter. This research could reveal pathways for the hundreds of First Nations in Canada, from British Columbia all the way to Nova Scotia, to also develop their own Child Care Act and help all of us determine what roles we can play in the decolonization of child welfare. Thank you.